Not gonna lie, it was a little devastating trying to watch Joshua Schmidt's video on YouTube earlier talking about the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! And sure enough, when it came to Tellarknights, I was expecting him to talk something great about them, but sure enough, he called them overrated and the most useless deck, I guess that's what he said. So I kind of hurt me a little bit over here, especially because I've been playing this deck for a long time, and to people that don't understand what the deck does, I guess that's the reaction I expect to get out of, but that's okay. And then he proceeded, of course, to give love to Shadows, which is understandable because Shadows were a more popular deck back then, even though Tellarknights countered them perfectly fine. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to demonstrate the updated 2024 Tellarknights that I'll be taking to the LA Regionals in a week or so from the point this video is made. And I'm gonna go ahead and top with this deck, and the way that I plan to do it is very strategic and very impactful, because a lot of people are not expecting Tellarknights to make a splash in the meta, and I really think that they are capable of. Before I get to the deck profile, guys, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Let's get those subscriber numbers up. Thank you guys so much for the support that you've shown me over the years. I really appreciate it, and I continue to provide this type of content to you guys. We're going to jump into this deck profile, and we're going to do some test hands as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with 3 copies of Tellarknight Liren. 3 copies is a standard for this card. It has multiple effects. An effect that can trigger from hand to special summon itself, and upon summon lets you search for a Tellarknight spell. So far there's only 2 realistic targets for this, but I can see it changing in the next wave of Tellarknight support cards. I believe that they're going to come up with more ways to utilize this card. We are running 2 copies of Tellarknight Unukalai. This is probably the 3rd most important card in your main, because upon summon it does send cards from your deck to the graveyard, which can be crucial in getting your combo started. Usually the combo piece that you're sending off of this will be Alteran. We are running 2 copies of the Neb. The Neb is your main searcher. Unfortunately, that's all it does now. It's just a 1-for-1 in a way. So running 2 copies is optimal. You can always cut this down to 1. 2 copies work for me because you do want to see Tellar names in order to interact with Liren. 1 copy of Alteran is all you need. 2 would be good if you're a beginner and not kind of utilizing this monster properly. But 1 is all you need, and its graveyard effect is a huge interruption, especially during the opponent's turn. Let's go ahead and move on. We are running 1 copy of Altair. Altair is your monster reborn that targets. Basically, that's about it. You know, you don't want to go too far into this. Just leave it at 1 because it does target the monster in the grave, which is susceptible to interruptions. So 1 copy is good enough. And then we have 1 copy of Vega. Still good to special summon an additional Tellarknight from your hand. And you can always chain Liren in hand, and then you have 3 bodies on board just like that. So that's the Tellarknight package. And then you have the Constellar Knights. We are running 3 Caduceus. This card is relatively strong on its own. It's a free level 4. If you have a Tellarknight Constellar Teller on the board. And on summon, it does have the effect of adding a spell, Constellar spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Also, if this card is used as an XC material before a battle damage with a calculation of a dark monster, this card banishes that monster. Or is it destroy? Yeah, banishes that monster, which is pretty handy. We are running the 1 Sheraton. This guy is crucial in your turn skip. You do want to normal summon this guy. You don't want to special summon him. Upon normal summon, it adds you a Constellar monster, which can provide to be useful, but and there's a benefit of linking this off now. It's not just a dead card on the field. So that's it for my Satellar and Constellars. On their own, they're not that great, but we are running a small package here with them. So, and the engine that works well with this is still the Superheavy Samurai engine. This engine is broken. This engine takes the Tellarknights to the final level, and I see a lot of Tellarknight players are not playing this engine, and it really hurts here because of all the lines that this can give you that the regular Tellar engine does not. So 3 bikes is mandatory upon this card to, doesn't matter if graveyard or banished, it gets you a copy of Wakashi, and then that's just a 1 card combo. Wakashi upon activation gets you another scale on the board, which lets you play through Droll. And then your one of bricks is Booster and Benkei. Benkei is the one that you really don't want to see. Booster is you can still kind of make something happen out of that. But that's a small engine that I'm running, and I'll demonstrate to you guys what it does. Onto the hand trap lineup, and we are in the hand trap format, so we are running 3 Droll and Logbirds. Droll and Logbirds are not in everybody's main deck. I still believe this is really good. Might not be as strong as fire decks, but there's another reason why we're running this, and I'll demonstrate in a combo video if it ever comes up. We are running 3 copies of Ash. I know a lot of people say to be careful while using this card, but it's still a very good hand trap, and we are using it. We are running 3 copies of Veilers. Very crucial card. 1 copy of Ghost Mourner. It can be bumped up to 3, and this is your preference really. I am testing out 2 Ghost Ogres and Snow Rabbits. Pretty good card in this format. Gonna be a better card when the new Fire Dragons come out as well. So that's it for the hand traps. We are not running any trap cards in this deck because we are playing the Superheavy Samurai engine, but we are running a few spells that can be recycled from the graveyard to make them live again, and that's 1 Skybridge and double Constellar Tellarknights. This is a great target dodge with your Tellers on board, but this is even better because it lets you special a Teller from your hand or grave as well as ranking up or rank down. Very, very useful card. We are running triple tactics talent and 1 reinforcements of the army. That's it for the main. We're going to move on to the side deck or the extra deck, and then we'll move on to the side deck. So for the extra deck, it's a tight extra deck, but Tellarknight Ptolemaeus is mandatory for that turn skip, as well as ranking up into rank 5 Tellarknight or another monster, which we are running quite a few. Trigger is a one of. This card can be cut in certain decks. In this deck, it's so far I've had good success with it because it's a non-target bounce, clean boards, and then the only thing it does is it locks you into Tellarknights, but because of this deck is primarily Tellarknights, that's an okay thing to occur. Starbucks did not pay for this video, but I'm going to use their cup anyway. And then we are running double Caduceus. Caduceus is a great card that recycles your resources as well as copies monsters effects from the main deck, which comes in pretty handy. Really great card that makes this deck playable. To be honest, I wouldn't be playing this deck if this card did not exist. We are playing the 1 copy of Pleiades. Pleiades helps that rank up with the Ptolemaeus during your opponent's turn, as well as gives you an extra interaction. So Pleiades is a mandatory card. Battlemas is a good card to have. It makes Diamond really strong, and its second effect almost never comes up. The first effect, it has 3 effects, right? So it has the effect of when it's summoned, or like as long as it's on the field, every card is a dark monster. That's one effect. The second effect is you detach a material, discard a card from your hand, and then you can bring out a Tellarknight monster on top of this one, which is a great effect. The third effect is it has it as a quick effect if you have 7 Tellarknight monsters in your graveyard, which is pretty hard to do, but kudos to you if you do. This can be an interruption that can lead into trigger during your opponent's turn. There's unfortunately not enough good Tellarknight names for you to play other than the ones that I've demonstrated, so it kind of caps the capacity of what this card can be played at. We are running 1 Ptolemy M7. This is necessary for your turn skip, and then 1 copy of Diamond. Diamond is your big boss monster. It prevents cards from your being sent from your opponent's deck to the graveyard, as well as being added from graveyard back to hand, which is pretty crucial. Not to mention it's Dark Monster Negate × 4, which is great against the Yubel cards, as well as the Gimmick Puppets that are going to be troublesome in the future meta. This deck, in my opinion, will always stay relevant just because of Diamond, and the ceiling is only going to go higher because of what it's able to do. We are playing 1 copy of the Durandal. The Durandal is a great combo piece when you have Droll and Logbird in your hand, because it can basically rip your opponent's hand during their turn and lock them out. For board wipe going second, we are running 1 Exaton and 1 Zeus. both great cards. Won't come up in this test video because I don't have an opponent to go against, but I'll make a combo video piece if this video gets maybe 20 likes or so. I'll make a combo versus opponent video for you guys. We are running 1 Omega, 1 Stardust, and then Perron de Flo. This comes up against your when you open up with your Super Heavy engine. I am missing a piece of a card. That's because I didn't take it out of my other deck. We are running 1 copy of SP Little Knight yet, of course, because this card is busted. This card is amazing in this format, and it really synergizes with the deck. That's it for the main. Let's move on to the extra deck. For the extra deck, we have our time card in All Sound. It does come up from time to time. We do run 2 copies of Barrier Statue of Heavens. This locks your opponents out from playing any card that's not a light. I mean, your opponent fire deck cannot be played basically. So this is a 2 of. Until the floodgates get banished, this will come up to 3. We are running Triple Shifters. Triple Shifters is deadly against a fire deck. So I highly recommend, if you can't play Shifter, which this deck is capable of, you play Shifter. The damage that it does to you is outweighed by the damage that it does to your opponent. We are playing 3 copies of Deck Lockdown. This is a very good card as well, very underrated. We are playing 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclones for banishment reasons. Beautiful, beautiful card. And of course 3 copies of Summon Limit, which I think will get hit in the ban list, but for right now we are playing 3 copies of it. So yeah, so that's it for the deck profile. Let's go ahead and see if I can demonstrate test hand for you guys. So now that this deck is shuffled, we're gonna go ahead and give it 1, 2, 3, and cut, and then we're gonna go ahead and start with our opener. Here we go. Constellar Tellarknights, 1 Veiler, Caduceus, Unukalai, and a Big Benkei. So even though you drew Big Benkei, this is the 1 card that you didn't want to see. It's unfortunate. However, you can still play. You're going to go ahead and start by normal summoning Unukalai, activating its effect to Foolish Burial, a monster. You're going to send all Terran to the grave. Then you're going to go ahead and activate Constellar Tellarknights. You're going to special out all Terran, and then that triggers Caduceus. That doesn't trigger Caduceus, but Caduceus can special summon. Now you're going to add another spell, another copy of Constellar Tellarknights for follow-up. Okay, you can go ahead and summon your first monster here. Even though it seems bricky, you are still able to play, which is what's important. You're going to go ahead and detach for cost. You're going to banish for cost and copy that monster's effect. What do you want to banish here? I think I want to banish maybe a Sheraton. Yeah, so I'll banish Sheraton to get Lyran in hand. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just go 2-piece combo here. I'm gonna go ahead and bring out M7 on top. This will trigger the effect. Mindful of where your zones are, by the way. You don't want to play into... Actually, Enema, it doesn't matter. Let them bring out Enema because you can negate and destroy by Diamond. Triggering Altern from Grave, and then you're going to go ahead and go 2. And here you have options, right? If you know that your opponent is playing a dark deck, you don't really need to go for Battleness. You can go for... where's my boy? You can go for Ptolemaeus. But let's say they're playing the good old-fashioned fire deck. You're going to bring out your Battleness, and then you're gonna rank this guy down into Diamond. So now you have a 3-time Omni Negate, and then you have a Veiler in hand just in case. So pretty typical board. I you know, and it's not even the capacity of the deck. And then you have a follow-up, obviously, in Tellarknight, Constellar Tellarknights to go ahead and bring out Diamond back onto the board and bring out Trigger on top. So that's a typical bad hand, you know, not as interactive. But let's see if we can demonstrate another combo piece. Let's go ahead and give another test hand. Unukalai, Ash Blossom, Lirin. So we got a full combo. We got Skybridge, which is great, and we got Constellar Caduceus. So this is what we call a turn skip, OTK. So we're gonna start off by normal summoning Unukalai, activating its effect. And if they have a response, you can always counter with Skybridge. So Unukalai will dump your one copy of Lirin. And then with the activation of Unukalai, you have to give them response window. So if they respond, you can, as the last resort, activate that effect as the last chain and then search for the spell. Now you're going to reveal him to special summon him because you have a Lirin on the field. That'll trigger Altarian to come off the board. Constellar Caduceus will get you the other copy of the spell. You will go 2 here. You will detach, banish for follow-up. I do want to banish the Neb in this case to get a copy of, let's go here, Altair. Now what you want to do is you want to Skybridge this guy away into your copy of Vega. Vega will bring out Altair, and Altair will bring out a copy of Unukalai. I know it's questionable why I did it this way, but hear me out. From here, you're going to go ahead and do your 5 monsters. Oop, I don't want to skip steps here. Bring out Caduceus. Caduceus will recycle these 2 cards back into your hand. And then you're going to go ahead and go M7 on top. And then you're going to activate Constellar Tellarknights. You will special summon him, and then just because it's a body, and then you're going to activate this to go here. You're going to detach 7 and you're going to skip your opponent's turn. There you go. Now your opponent's turn is skipped. Now the crucial part becomes how you come back, like swing for game, because Tellarknights are known to struggle at times. So now that it comes back to you, you can rank this guy into Pleiades. You can activate Constellar Tellarknights to special out Vega. Vega will trigger to special out Unukalai. Unukalai will trigger to Foolish. Where do I want to Foolish here? It's 3,000. So, and then we're gonna proceed to, I want to say battle. You know what? Should I go this way? No, I don't want to go this way. Yeah. So we're gonna proceed to battle here. We're gonna swing for 25 plus 16, that's 41. Right? 43 plus 12 plus 18, so that's 3,000. 43 plus 3,000 is 73. Then you're gonna go ahead and Skybridge to any teller, basically, sorry. The Neb, and then the Neb will push for game. So there you go, we achieved the OTK. And that's without having to utilize the Superheavy engine, which I promise you does make a difference. The reason we're not seeing it is because I just saw it in the main deck, they're all bunched in together. The only one we're able to see is the one we don't want to see. I really have high hopes for this deck during the regionals because not a lot of people, it doesn't lose to a single hand trap like a lot of decks. Like the Fire deck will lose to Shifter. This deck can actually play through Shifter. So let's demonstrate that now. Troll, Ghost, Ogre. Are we going second? 4. Oh man, yeah, we're definitely going second. But let's say Let's say we don't want to build that standard board. So in this case, because I have Droll, I'm almost exclusively going for this one board. I'm going to go here too. Again, we're able to build our full combo with this. So Caduceus detach. We're going to banish Sheraton. I'm so glad I'm not seeing Sheraton. This is the one guy you don't really want to see. This will get you him. Use special, activate effect. And then you're gonna activate its effect to bring out her. This is 2. This is perfect because now we can't even go into dark cover. So you go 2 here. You can either what I will do here actually is I'm gonna go ahead and take a different approach. I'm gonna go ahead and summon out. Let's go here. By its own effect, and then let's go here. I'm gonna detach, bounce this back to my hand. This goes to grave. I'm gonna set it because I don't want it in hand, and then I'm gonna go ahead and in my end phase equip this guy with its 3rd and final material. What do I want to equip? Let's go with trigger. The trigger will go under Tellarknights. And then during your opponent's turn, you have a layers of interruption. You're gonna go ahead and during your end phase still detach all 3. You're gonna bring out the Rendell. Defense. Okay, the Rendell is a Omni Negate at this point because you do control a spell or trap. You have 2 interruptions, although like once per turn, and then you have this. So let's say your opponent summons something. You can detach and bounce it, right? Let's say your opponent decides to add a card from deck to hand, that's fine, they can do that. You're gonna go Chainlink 1 to Rendell, Chainlink 2 Droll. Droll says you cannot add cards from deck to hand, except by drawing them. No wait, cards from the rest of the turn, cards cannot be added from the main deck to the hand at any cost. The Rendell will shuffle both of our cards into the deck and then we draw the same amount, except now you're under Droll so you don't get to draw. So if they start with Bonfire, you're basically locking them out from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And then during your turn, you draw a card again, whatever it might be. You flip this up, and then you have full combo, and you win. So that's another layer of Tellarknights that a lot of people don't know or don't see. For the sake of it, I do want you guys to see what one bike is able to accomplish. So we are going to start with the bike. The Neb, Baylor, Nikolai, and the Skybridge. We're gonna go ahead and start by pitching bike to the grave. I swear, with the amount of Wakashis I'm seeing, you could swear I'm playing 3 copies. So I'm gonna go ahead and activate this, not Wakashi, sorry, Benkei. So you're gonna activate Wakashi, you're gonna set your scale on the other side, and then that's gonna bring Wakashi out into the field. You're gonna go ahead and activate Benkei's effect, giving you a copy of Booster. Booster is going to equip to bike and then hit the field. At this point you can go 2 level 3s, 2 8s into Axel. Axel will be Chainlink 1, Benkei Wakashi is Chainlink 2, and then you're going to go ahead and bring out bike, and this gives you your Baron line. Baron will go into the link zone, and now you can pendulum summon because you have these 2 scales. 1, 2, right? So you are adding a copy of this and you are dumping this. Then you can go into 2 here because it is important that you can use that. Let's see, bringing out Caduceus effect. Chainlink 1, Altern Chainlink 2. So Altern comes out, Caduceus resolves because you are chain blocking, getting a copy of this by banishing your copy of Sheraton. Next, you're going to go ahead and special out Sheraton. You're going to activate its effect to get you the spell. And then you're going to go ahead and I want to activate the spell. No, I want to Skybridge. I want to Skybridge this out. Still have a normal summon, guys, by the way. Let's get a copy of Altair in rotation. Altair will trigger. Getting a copy of the Neb into rotation, and now we're going to go ahead and activate Constellar Tellarknights, keeping Lyran in hand. You're going to bring out her. You are going to make your 5 summons here, and this makes your OTK line even easier because now 5 monsters get you a Caduceus. Caduceus effect will trigger, getting you a copy of Skybridge just in case. And all this you're protecting on the Baron. You're gonna go here with its own effect and then activate Constellar Tellarknights to go into Tellarknights. You've seen this before. With detach, skip your opponent's turn, get it back to you. I mean, where do you go from here, guys? I mean, you gonna go ahead and bring this guy out. Make sure not to bring out Altair or Alteran because now you're locked into Tellarknights only. This alone is 55 damage. You still haven't Pendulum summoned. Don't need to make it any more complicated than that. But yeah, that's about it, guys. This is the deck profile that I'm gonna take to the regionals and hopefully top. All it needs is just errorless playing, that's all. And I've played this deck long enough to know not to make errors. Don't forget, guys, to smash that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.